are typical ways of trying to make change. They're slow and they're difficult to implement, and we have a lot of barriers, systemic barriers that prevent us from enacting those changes.
It's not surprising that private organizations have specific funding allocated for exploring new ideas and new ways of servicing their customers. That's something that's definitely lacking in kind of the social services sector, is that I think that we can sort of get stuck sometimes in doing the same thing over and over again.
We talk a lot about having been founded by families in the early 1950s who wanted something different for their sons and daughters, and they were the early innovators. They were people that set out to create some new options for people, new solutions that didn't exist. So I think with fifth space, for us, it was an experimental approach. I think it actually, we probably learned much more than we expected to learn going out, but certainly we learned that we want to explore more.
The biggest learning experience for me in fifth space was actually going in and doing the ethnographic style research, because it completely changed our problem statement. And we originally thought that people were extremely bored and that's why they were acting out in group homes, but that wasn't the case at all. So it really shouldn't have been that surprising, which I think was the surprise in itself, but how important it is to actually sit down with the target users, the people that you're trying to create solutions for, and test them out in live time, and just the difference in the results that you get, rather than from the head up making decisions and implementing them all the way down, but starting from the bottom and creating those solutions.
With Grounded Space, it feels like a coming home. It's an opportunity to bring some of those staff back from this space and build that culture of ongoing experimentation, and making sure that not only are people given permission to experiment, explore, question, given tools to do that, and that they understand that there is a framework of support and there is going to be a resource to help them with that.
My thoughts on Grounded Space, at first I thought I was a little apprehensive.
I think some objections that my colleagues might have to this Grounded Space initiative might be time.
There's still a job that I have to do. The apprehension kind of comes from, well, how do I continue to do what I need to do, but then also take part in this?
I think we've spent years helping people be really comfortable, both the people that we serve and the staff, be really comfortable in the niche that they've created. And I can think of a few examples where people that we support were touched by some change that made an impact in their lives. A lot of it is about bravery and curiosity and courage to step out of the norm. This is a different type of work. This is about being uncomfortable because you have to sort of push at the walls a little bit to create real change.
In my opinion, it's important for people to be excited about Grounded Space, because it is taking that passion that brought us all here and really putting it into perspective, allowing us to think in a different way.
It's exciting because I see that there's lots of opportunity to do some different things. Nothing changes if nothing changes, and we need to change and we need to evolve. So I hope that this process gets me out of the everyday autopilot.
The most challenging step will be to select a few things to explore further, where we'll have staff that we're calling embedded researchers that will go out and have conversation with other staff, with people served, with their family members, and anyone else that might be involved to better understand what those issues are.
That it's okay to try things out, and it's okay for things to fail, and if Grounded Space is going to help us with that, we're just going to progress more in terms of how we support people and the services that we offer.